Well, before I start my talk, I would like to ask you guys some questions. First of all, I would like to raise your hand if you have ever been in contact with social media. Well, secondly, I would like to raise your hand if you think you use social media more than you actually should. Yeah, I'm guilty of that. Well, now you guys probably expect me to talk about this cliche topic on how not to use social media and how to ban it, but actually I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about how to use social media the right way and how to spend more productive time on it. Well, I don't really condone banning social media, like it's done in some countries, China, Korea. Nowadays in Moscow there are riots going on because the government decided to ban Telegram, and people are throwing paper planes on the streets as a sign of their protest. Well, we can't ban it because it's vital for freedom of expression. It gives us complete freedom, and it's vital for a democratic country, obviously. Well, most of the times when I've been on YouTube or Instagram, because I obviously use social media, and I think more than I should sometimes, but I'm going to focus on YouTube and Instagram because that's where I spend most of my time. Well, I've found myself into this never-ending bubble of content, and I felt like I couldn't get out of it anymore. But actually, there's a way out. Well, there's two ways to use social media, a productive way and an unproductive way. And to use it in a productive way is really important because wasting your time, nobody wants that. Well, now, there was a point in my life where I was kind of addicted to crime stories. Well, it's creepy, I know, maybe, but well, for about 2 weeks I used to watch crime stories every day, and I couldn't stop because I was addicted to them. It was really interesting for me. But then after some time, I decided to ask myself this question: did this teach me something new? After every video, I decided to think about what I learned from this video, and finally I realized that nothing, pretty much, except how insane people are, much like me. Well, finally, I came up to this conclusion that I needed to stop. I needed to get rid of all these videos from my feed. Well, I went to my YouTube feed because that's where my feed looked like a freak show, and I decided to press on videos that actually didn't teach me anything, not interested. Well, this feature helped me a lot because then it cleared my feed completely, and there were no more crime stories. There was no more freak show on my feed. Well, then I decided I needed to replace it with something, right? Because, well, we all need social media for entertainment. Well, what I decided to do was I decided to replace it with crash courses and TEDx, which actually interested me a lot. Well, they helped me a lot because it helped me to follow my passion. Well, when I interested myself in this kind of talks, my whole feed was covered with these talks, and when I used to go to YouTube, I used to look at these amazing titles of videos, like How Can Birds Sing? Or I used to watch videos about social science because I was interested in it. And then, when I went into my feed, I was tempted to press on those videos. And I actually, when I finished watching them, I realized I learned something new. Well, asking myself this question helped me a lot. Well, there's another issue to that because everybody probably has heard of clickbait here, mostly teenagers. Well, if you've been living under a rock and you don't know what clickbait is, I'm going to explain it for you. Well, it's something that people on social media use where they write the title on the video or on a post and they make you click on it, but when you actually watch it or look at the post, the content is about something else. Well, this makes you waste your time a lot more because you're there for entertainment and you don't even get entertainment and you don't even spend productive time. So you kind of waste your time a big time. Well, literally, I would like to recommend to follow your passion because that's what all of us are here for. On social media, the way to use time productively is to follow your passion, obviously. If you go to Instagram and you see some useless posts, just remove it from your feed, unfollow those people, or turn off post notifications. Well, then try to replace it with something else. Try to interest yourself into your passions. Like if you love cooking, follow cooking pages. If you love music, watch music videos and follow music, people who post updates about music. Well, filtering your content is important, as I said. Well, sometimes we feel like we can't control the content that we're looking at anymore because we're constantly overreading this trashy content that we feel like we can't control it anymore and we can't get out of it. Well, memes. Yeah. Well, everybody has looked at least one trashy meme in their life. Well, they're funny sometimes, but do we actually want to be spending our 30-minute break from homework and looking at memes alone and laughing at them? Well, I don't think so, because it's just a waste of time. Well, finally, I would like to say that you should ask yourself this question all the time. When you look at something, just think about it. Does this teach you something new? Do you get something out of it? If you do, then continue pursuing it, continue watching it. Because that's what makes you. You grow up while you spend productive time on social media. Because when I used to pursue my passions and when I used to watch some interesting videos about social sciences or like some weird questions like why do people sweat, I actually got interested in them, and I actually, at the end, I learned something new. And I used this knowledge. It was just huge general knowledge which I actually used in the future. And I felt like I grew up as a person. Well, if I wasted my time on some trashy content, it was just a waste of time, and at the end it didn't feel good. But I still wasted my time. Well, when you go to your feed and you look at these interesting titles, they kind of tempt you to press on them. They kind of grip your attention. Well, then you press on them, and then at the end you feel satisfied because you actually did something productive, finally. Well, at the end, asking yourself this question helped me. Asking myself this question helped me a lot. So I would recommend to ask yourself this question. If you look at a post or a video, did this teach you something new? Did you actually learn something from this? If you didn't, then you probably should get it out of your feed. Well, if you did, then pursue it. Well, think about it. One question can change your whole feed. Thank you.